Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Omega Seamaster Diver 300 meter Commander's Watch limited edition of 7,007 pieces. You can see and you can purchase this James Bond themed commemorative timepiece on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch with additional accessories included in the sale, and there are many for this watch. Additional high-resolution images that don't include my wrist, and naturally, full pricing details for this James Bond-themed Commander's watch. Now, this watch is a combination of features seen elsewhere, but never precisely combined into a single reference. We've seen the Seamaster 300 meter for over 20 years now. It first rose to fame on the wrist of Pierce Brosnan in the mid-1990s, and continued briefly into the James Bond era of Daniel Craig. It remains a staple of the lineup at the entry point to the Seamaster family. We've also seen white ceramic dials on the white side of the moon from the Moonwatch family, and of course we've seen limited editions in the 007 tradition, many over the years, but this watch has a completely unique aesthetic, and though it's not rare in any objective sense with over 7,000 made, it is a very unusual look for an Omega Seamaster and a versatile watch on the wrist. Now you can see on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, the watch wears easily. It is 41 millimeters across the round of the case, not inclusive of crown guards or the helium escape valve. Now it's 13.2 millimeters thick, but you can see because the NATO style strap is underslung and actually runs beneath the case back, it sits a little bit thicker when it is on the strap. If you're going to wear it with a suit, for a number of reasons, the bracelet, which comes as an accessory to the watch, should be the natural choice. Now in terms of lug to lug, if you do wear it on the NATO, you can fit it on a small wrist, because the lug to lug dimension is 47.3 millimeters, and you'll also note that the NATO is very flexible and pliant and easy to bend around a small wrist like mine, so I would say down to 13.5 centimeters in circumference. You can easily wear this watch on the strap. Now let me talk a little bit about the strap, because it's rare that I actually put a watch on my wrist for a video, but I wanted to demonstrate the point that this is perhaps one of the most thoughtfully crafted NATO-style straps available. By the way, this is a plastic cover. It's not the natural color of the stainless steel strap minder. This is a very thoughtfully made factory spec NATO strap. Steel minders for excess length, a full polished steel pin buckle. You can see there is actually a Union Jack style coloration to the watch that also matches the military style pin ribbon that accompanies the watch in its boxed set. It actually recaps the coloration and pattern of the ribbon perfectly. For all practical intents and purposes, this works like a normal strap. So if you find the NATO straps combinations of loops and binders to be a little bit puzzling, rest assured this one straps onto your wrist normally when it's in strap mode. Now the case itself is a well-known companion and has been for a number of decades. Pierce Brosnan, or at least his character, would recognize this one immediately. You have the classical skeleton hands, you have the beveled case with its combination of satin and polished finish, satin on the flanks, bevels on the lug hoods, or I should say polish on the beveled lug hoods. You can also see that it's the classical unidirectional rotating bezel, albeit here with a blue ceramic insert, and the sweep of 15 minutes in red is actually a very durable rubber insert. We've seen a number of these used over the years in Omega Seamaster models. They've all held up well, so buy with confidence. Now the helium escape valve is a little bit of theater. Unless you're engaged in saturation diving, you're simply not going to need it, but it is a fun conversation piece, and of course it was worked into quite a few Bond storylines and plot loops back in the day. So a handsome piece. It's not encumbered by the helium escape valve. It won't cause a dress cuff or a tight sleeve to get hung up. The crown guards are very comprehensive and afford the crown quite a good deal of shielding. There are a number of features on the dial that I find to be a little bit whimsical, but memorable for it. Whimsy is a good thing, especially when you're talking about Omega limited editions. There are so many of them, even amongst each other they struggle to stand out. This watch has an absolutely singular aesthetic, with its white ceramic dial featuring blue applied indices, blue skeletonized hands, that red 007 counterweight seconds hand at center, and there's even a little bit of a quirk to the way the quickset works for the date. Let me see if I can get this into the intermediate position. Up there we are. There's exactly one red number on the date wheel, and it's 7. So it's not exactly a roulette date, but it is thoughtfully designed. Like everything else about the watch, it's well executed and attractive. And some may not love the overt Bond theme, but I have to say that it's been well executed in that unless you turn the watch over, you really do have to get within a few inches of the dial to see that 007 counterweight. The watch stands out without necessarily advertising its co-branding. The Union Jack colors are also versatile. Any number of pro ball teams, colleges, or national flags use the exact same coloration, so you need not worry about being pigeonholed by the color. Now I'm going to take the strap off briefly just to give you a better look at what lies beneath. It does have a display case back. You can see the caliber 2507. It's based on Omega's long-running caliber 2500. In its earliest iterations, a coaxial adaptation of the ETA 2892, which was then doing business as the Omega 1120. Here you can see there's a interesting rifled bullet motif at center. It's all machine finished, but handsomely so, with a perlage across the base plate. You can see the linear Côte de Genève across the bridges. You'll also note that it features a free-sprung balance for durability, and it does beat away at the contemporary coaxial rate of 25,200 vibrations per hour. Quick set date, hacking seconds. It is a COSC certified Swiss chronometer. Of course, it's also a coaxial with the famed George Daniels coaxial escapement system for long-term timing stability and reduced long-term maintenance needs, with a handsome finish, an unusual display case back on one of the 300-meter series watches, and of course, a substantial upgrade from the standard 2892. 27 joules versus 21 for the 2892, 48-hour power reserve versus 42 for the 2892, and of course the chronometer certification with the coax architecture. This is a watch that's distinctive inside and out, a great value, and richly appointed with accessories in its boxed set. You can see and you can purchase this one on our website.